What's up, everyone? Duquesne23 here to talk about the new Railgun.
Absolutely amazing.
Alright, what's up, everyone? Duquesne23 here, and I got a little bit more Forge information. This is off of the Halo Bulletin for 7/18/2012, and they don't really give anything like brand new and stuff, but they kind of clarify a few stuff. So, make sure you go to the link in the description. There's a lot more questions that were asked about other things, not just Forge and stuff. There's a lot of questions. There's some the Forward Unto Dawn, questions and everything like that. So be sure to go to the link and actually, check it out for yourselves. All right. So the first question says, it was mentioned in the Forge demo that there would be multiple Forge environments. Does this mean that multiple Forge worlds with different settings and a theme for each? If so, can we assume that different styles of parts for each? Now, BS Angel answers this by saying there will be some aesthetic variety we'll talk about later. Of course, they'll talk about later. As well as the obvious inclusion of aesthetics and forgeable objects from specific maps, Forerunner versus UNSC objects, depending on the content of the environment. But most of the objects will be UNSC themed. Although she doesn't really confirm that there will be different settings or a theme for each environment, but they did say that there's multiple Forge environments. I think they said there's 3 Forge environments, which I don't understand why they would do, different Forge environments and not have an actual different environment. So I think it's pretty safe to assume that it is going to be, some different aesthetics and stuff on each environment. All right, then another question says, will we see more armor abilities than those already revealed, as well as different secondary weapons besides the pistol and plasma pistol? And then BS Angel answers it, you have not seen all the weapons yet. We have not fully exposed all the armor abilities yet. So, of course, we got more armor abilities going to be coming out, and of course, more weapons. Now, I think there's going to be a total of 10 new weapons in Halo 4. But, of course, they could still bring back all the old, weapons and stuff from past Halo games. Alright, so another question says, will any 343 created Forge maps be released into matchmaking alongside the 10 regular maps? And then she answers, we won't be putting Forge creations in the main matchmaking areas initially, at least. Certainly Forge variants may go in eventually, but we're still discussing how to promote and enable Forge creations in a way that maintains a separation of the kind of content from the main mix. So, there's pretty much saying right there, at release, there won't be like Forge variant maps and stuff like that, which I'm perfectly fine with that. I would actually rather not have any remakes from past Halo games at the start of Halo 4, just because, you kind of want to play all the new stuff. You want 10 new maps and, not have, old remake maps and stuff like that to where it's familiar. I'd rather have something brand new, and then later on they bring in the familiar stuff. All right, so another question asks, how big are the multiple Forge environments compared to Forge World? And she answers, the environments will be large enough to accommodate just about any design you can think of, from a Lockout remake to a sprawling racetrack. And I like that, racetrack. But there will be rolling hills, flat sterile spaces, big flat indoor areas, and everything in between. The difference is that we'll use more than one environment and aesthetic rather than a giant contiguous space like Forge World. There will also be huge flat jumbo Coliseum walls that you can instantly place as enormous floor tiles or walls. Now, since she's kind of capping the huge flat jumbo Coliseum walls, that kind of makes me think, we already have Coliseum walls and they're already pretty big. But of course, if you want to make a nice big play space for like a BTB game or something like that, you're going to have to, place a bunch of those out on the ground. And since she capped huge flat jumbo, that makes me think that, the Coliseum walls will be even bigger. And I can't wait to see how big these things are. All of the spaces are being designed with flexibility and performance in mind. The inclusion of new lighting engine and some unique palettes will make things look more varied and connected. Some simple examples, you can make Lockout and the Pit with relative ease and plenty of room. If you want to do something giant and meandering, you're going to have to include some of the environment's existing features such as hills, cliffs, and etc. So, that just gets me really excited to kind of be able to hear what they're talking about. They aren't really giving out any like big new information. It's still nice to be able to hear all the information and stuff. and, kind of clarification of everything. Alright, so then the last thing I want to say about this is that someone asked a question, in Forge, will the coordinate system we had in Reach be returning? Also, will the grid be returning as a placeable object in Forge? Beatus Angel says that coordinates and grids are returning and will be in some ways more useful thanks to other features like magnets and so on. But guys, that's pretty much all I'm going to cover, on this article. If you want to read all the other questions that were asked, especially about the Halo Forward Until Dawn, and also, there were some other questions in there that I didn't think were as important, at least to me, so that's why I didn't cover it. But be sure to go check out the link down in the description. You can read it all for yourself. But everyone, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like so more people get to see it. And also subscribe if you haven't already for more Halo 4 news and content. And I will see y'all next time. Later, guys.